Today I am with the lovely Anne, and I am very looking forward to this conversation because I know the details behind it. I'm excited for you to share with my menopausal tribe your journey and experience because it's been quite a huge one. And if this is happening to you, then there are probably other women out there in a similar situation. So, firstly, what we might do, Anne, is you can give us like where you were at before we started working together. So we've got kind of a good overview of like the situation you were in. And then from there, we can obviously journey forward like to where you are now. How's that sound?
That sounds great. So before I started working with Chanel, I was stuck in like in a messy period of my life that had lasted for quite a while. I have suffered with IBS for a long time, and I was at a point where exercise was hard because I was too far away from a bathroom. If I exercised out of my house, eating was a chore because no matter what I ate, it always made my body react poorly. I'd gone through all kinds of different medications and things that I heard that might help. And I was just really stuck. It was really hard. I was watching all of my grown children go off and do fun things. And I always was like, well, I don't know if I can join you because I'm not sure if there's a bathroom close by. So it was just getting really heavy for me. I just didn't like the way I felt at all.
Mm.
So I chatted with some of my coworkers who had been working with you and was like, okay, well, maybe she can help me get my life kind of put back together and get me on the right track. And sure enough, um, you were just the biggest blessing ever from the get-go. So I'm so glad that I have gotten a chance to work with you.
So for those tuning in, I have actually had a little bit of a different but similar experience to Anne. So when I see these sort of symptoms, I can understand and empathize greatly because I know how difficult life is when you are living like that. And what happens is it becomes your norm, and it's not normal. Like it is not normal to eat food and be running to the bathroom, or to be eating food and then having really bad wind, or having bloating or having pain, or that is not normal. And so
Right.
we get used to living with this, and of course, then it affects our body composition because, like you said, you either can't exercise, you're not eating the right food, your food isn't being digested properly, you're not getting the nutrients you need, your energy is affected. There's so many flow-on effects. So then maybe carry on. We started working together, and what happened? Like, what was the process?
So the first thing was just adding in some supplements into what I was already doing because I was already trying to be very careful with what I was eating, but I wasn't getting enough protein by far. Like I was not. And fiber, I wasn't getting enough fiber. The doctors that I'd worked with for all of my IBS stuff had just told me, yeah, you need to take some fiber supplements, but just take the recommended dosage on like the container, and that's all you're going to need. And so that's all I was taking, which was just such a small amount. And I had no idea that I needed so much more. So within those first couple of weeks, um, just adding in extra protein whenever I could. We added in like the winner for me is that psyllium husk. I can't go anywhere without it now. That was such a great bonus for me. It gave me so much more fiber, and it gave my body what it needed to be able to digest the food. And then making sure that I had enough water in me, which I was I'm a teacher, so I have like bathroom breaks at certain times. And so it was kind of like a challenge, but I found when I was feeding my body the right things, that even when I was like hydrating all the time, I was okay. Like I was able to make it through my days with my schedule that I have. But within just like, I don't know, it was like 3 weeks maybe of taking the psyllium husk and eating more protein. I didn't have a single symptom of what I normally suffered with. It was phenomenal. It was so amazing.
Yeah, it is really exciting to see the progress that has occurred. And obviously, Anne and I have been working together as one-on-one clients. So, we are on calls like this, like every fortnight. And so Anne would come on the call and she would be like, and guess what? I went to the supermarket and I didn't need to go to the bathroom. And I went to New York and I just had the best time and I just feel free. And,
Yes.
these sort of things, right, have made such a difference to you.
Yeah, they've been huge. Like I think it was maybe like 6 weeks after we started working, I went on this big trip with my husband and two of my sons to Costa Rica, and I was like terrified because this was going to be like the real test of, can I go and do all of these things? And I remember like before we went on this beautiful hike through the rainforest there, I had like stashed my like toilet paper in my pocket like I always would. And I was like, okay, if I have to like ditch off the trail. And my son told me, but mom, you can't go off trail in Costa Rica. There's things out there that'll. And so I started panicking. My body was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I have to go to the bathroom. And we took this beautiful, I don't know, we were like 2 hours of hiking through the rainforest, and I had no problems. It was like the biggest win at the very end. I like my sons noticed, my husband, we were all cheering like, oh my gosh, this was such a huge thing for mom to have been able to do this. It was so fantastic that I didn't have to be like, sorry, I can't go and experience this amazing thing with you. That my body was able to do that was huge.
So exciting. I must go to Costa Rica myself. But
Yeah.
what, and then of course, this has allowed us to now that Anne has got some of these things completely turned around, focus
Yeah.
on your body composition goals. So how is that
Yes.
going?
That is going amazing. So after years of watching the scale go up and up and up, and no matter what I did, the scale's kind of finally going in the right direction. It's been great. But more so than that is just how I feel. Like I sent you a message over the weekend. We've had some beautiful days here. It's spring where I'm at. And so I was like getting into the yard work, which I love to spend time in the yard, but usually an afternoon of doing yard work just would destroy my back. I would be in pain. But I've been working with a trainer through Chanel and have been exercising and learning like proper form for like squats and hinges and all of those things. And that has been huge in that I could do yard work it was like 5 hours on Saturday that I was in the yard working really hard, and I felt fantastic when I was done. No pain whatsoever, which is the first time in a very long time that that's happened.
So
And
feel your body getting stronger.
yes, so much stronger. Like before, like squatting to like weed anything, I wouldn't make it more than just, a minute or so. And I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting on the ground. Right. And so, but now I was like, oh, this is feeling comfortable. Like I know how to engage my core better. I know how like the form should look like, and it just felt so much better to do it. So I was so much stronger than I have been. And then the added bonus of my clothes are fitting better. I'm like feeling confident, which
So
just like,
good.
wow, okay. I can do
Very
this.
good. Well, we try not to focus on a number per se. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to change the narrative from goal weight to goal size. However,
Yes.
you have actually lost quite a number, so you might want to
Yeah.
share just so it is valid.
Yes, I've lost 21 pounds since the beginning of December. I think was like our first official meeting. We like talked briefly at the end of November, but our first official meeting was at the beginning of December. So 21 pounds. Um, that's
Amazing.
amazing.
It's amazing. And this is the thing now, like I think what you just touched on, your confidence, your self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
you having a strong body, because as you know, and we talk about this and I talk about this a lot now, we want to feel fantastic now, but the
Yes.
statistics for women are not good for aging. And so what
Yeah.
you're actually doing is you are changing your path for longevity, and this
Right.
is what's really exciting. So of course we want to feel great now and get our goals, and it's amazing and fantastic that you're doing it. And of course turning around like the digestion issues like
Right.
is life changing,
Huge.
literally is life changing.
Yes.
But you are changing the trajectory of your life, like how long you get to live, and not only
Mm-hmm.
the length of your life, but the quality of it. So you
Right.
will be able to enjoy with your family, for becoming an old lady. And
Long
this is,
time.
yes, yes, you're going to be around a long time. And I think this is the message that I'm so passionate about sharing now, because
Mhm.
that's the reality, is that what we do now is actually building the foundation of us not being worried about being old ladies anymore, because we are defining or redefining what being old looks like, and it's
Yes.
not scary anymore, right?
It isn't. No, you always say that you're going to be a fit nana, right? That's like your goal. So I
Yes,
am a grandma. I'm a pretty young grandma. And so over the
you
weekend,
are.
I was telling my youngest son who's still at home, I was like, so my goal is to be like Chanel, and I'm going to be a fit grandma. Like that's what you're going to know about your grandma for your kids is I'm going to be a
Yeah,
fit grandma. I'm going to be
yeah.
there. So
And that's legacy, right? Because
yeah,
your grandkids, then you get to live with them, not babysit them or just watch
right.
them. You actually get to live life with them. And that's
Yes.
the difference, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, this is it's so exciting. I'm so grateful to have you share your story, because
Yeah.
if this has been happening to you, there's other women out there
Yes.
that, well, both of us have been through this situation. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why on my program, and obviously with my one-on-one clients, we definitely focus on fiber, because whether
Yes.
you have got, like challenges like you've had, Anne, or not, generally fiber can fly under the radar. And I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
doctors even are not prescribing enough.
Right.
So this is where, fiber is it's such a massive tool, like to your health and wellness.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so exciting to see the progressions.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing today. Truly appreciate it. Um, you know, just gives other women hope that they can turn things around. And you have just done an
Absolutely.
amazing job. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.